Now, they've been on the verge of extinction for decades, but a new colony of red squirrels has been discovered in the Yorkshire Dales.
Conservationists are celebrating because Yorkshire is not the only place where the rarely seen rodents are doing well. Our reporter Fee Lambden is on Anglesey for us this morning, and Fee, some sightings where you are too. Oh, and it looks a little bit chilly.
Yes, prepared with my hot water bottle. Yes, we are on Anglesey. The good news, in the last 3 decades, they've gone from 40 to 800. And we're in a hide this morning. Let me just show you. We're all ready. We're all ready to spot. You've got the feeder out there, but you can see, yes, it is obviously still very dark and it is wet. Apparently squirrels really prefer to come out when it's a little bit drier and warmer. But yesterday I was over in Yorkshire and we were incredibly lucky. We didn't just see 1, 2, we saw over 4 different red squirrels. They came out because colonies there are doing extremely well. This is what we saw yesterday.
Deep in the Yorkshire Dales, new colonies of rare red squirrels are springing up. Today, Julie and her team of volunteers are heading into the woods to check on the endangered mammals. Back in the 60s, there were no reds here, but now there are over 20, some of whom, right on cue, come out for our cameras.
Just watching them just lifts me. It's great. My face is starting to ache because I've been smiling so much, and you're smiling as well because you've experienced the same thing as well. So, what can be wrong with that? So,
It's been a pretty amazing morning.
it has, isn't it? Yeah.
2002, reds became evident here because the landowners had planted some Christmas trees, and it's thought that the red squirrels here have came from the red squirrels that are in Cumbria, which is great. The population that I found most recently in another area of North Yorkshire is a brand new population of squirrels. We didn't know they were there.
Your heart's in your mouth with joy at seeing such a tiny thing, so up for life really. Busy, finding, seeking, eating, munching, just being a squirrel. I think it's something that everybody should see, and I'm really keen that we do our bit to help it for my grandkids so they can see and have the same effect.
Native to the UK, there used to be 3 million red squirrels, but their population declined when the Victorians introduced the greys, who now massively outnumber by almost 10 times as many grey squirrels compared to the reds. The greys spread diseases which kill the red squirrels. So pilots have begun giving oral contraception to help manage the grey population, while others are eating them.
Maybe once a month I'll have squirrel.
What do you eat it with?
I like it with porcini mushrooms. Others like it in curries, pies, burgers. You know, you can do anything with squirrel meat that you can with any other meat. But I prefer it really slow cooked till it falls off the bone.
And conservation efforts are pretty strategic, creating buffer zones around red squirrel strongholds, making sure the two don't mix.
We have a known population of red in that direction by a few miles, and in the other direction there are greys in a number of miles. And in the middle we're in a buffer zone. We do not want those two networks coming together. So at the moment this is really quite a key point.
Here in Yorkshire, there is a quiet confidence that after many years, these precious creatures are beginning to thrive once more.
We were so lucky to see so many of them yesterday, but fingers crossed we're going to be able to see some this morning once it gets a little brighter. Good morning to you, Owen. So you have been, Geraint, you have been a volunteer here for over 8 years, encouraging the red squirrels.
That's right, yes. I got involved here before the pandemic, and we do a lot of work here just to try and help and support the squirrels. But I think it's important that we think about how much work has been done on the island. Because there weren't any grey squirrels in the 1960s, so they started to come over in the 1960s. And before then, the red squirrels were the native species on the island. They're all over the island. But unfortunately, by the mid-1990s, there's only about 30 to 40 left on the island. So a group of people got together and decided something had to be done, and they started a programme to protect the existing ones and start controlling the greys on the island. And between the control of the grey squirrels and reintroductions of captive bred ones across the island, we've now around about 800.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you were saying that if anyone ever spots a grey squirrel here now, it's out there on social media, everyone's talking about it. People are very vigilant.
It's incredible how the people of Anglesey have taken ownership of the red squirrels. They're very dear to people. So if there's any reports of grey squirrels on the island, it's all over social media. And the people at the Red Squirrel Trust Wales, they work incredibly hard to help and control the grey squirrels. So it's a real positive story.
Show me here, because you bought some props. I know we haven't got a squirrel with us this morning at the moment, but show us what we've got here.
Well, basically, the squirrels, they have a wide diet and they will eat almost everything and anything. And this is an example of the pine cones that they've eaten. So they will get the seed from between the cones. And what's really interesting about squirrels, you get some left and right-handed squirrels. So if you see some, you'll see some turning them clockwise and others anti-clockwise, depending if they're left or right-handed. So it's incredible once you start looking at them. But coming back to the situation here in Plas Newydd, this was one of the release sites, and in 2008, 6 red squirrels were released in the woodland here. So what we do, we will get captive bred ones and keep them in an enclosure for them to get used to the environment, and after a while we will let them out, but still leave the enclosure open so they can come and go. And now we estimate there's around about 100 in the woodland between Llanfairpwll and over in Newborough.
Wow, 100. So there are 100 out there in that woodland. We have the sunflower seeds here, and after we've come off air, we're going to go and fill up the feeder.